Most people slow down when they get older. They expect aches, forgetfulness, and dependency to become part of everyday life. But not Grandma Ruth McAllister. She's 92, lives completely on her own, still walks without a cane, and hasn't had a leg cramp in years. Her legs are strong, her memory is sharp, and her energy is better than some people half her age. But what shocked me most wasn't just how well she's aging, it's how simple her secrets really are. In this video, I'm sharing her powerful story, and if you stay with me to the end, you'll walk away with real, doable habits that can strengthen your legs, prevent painful cramps, and completely shift the way you think about aging. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, or beyond, this could be the inspiration and practical guide you've been waiting for. Let's dive into the specific health choices that have kept Ruth strong, mobile, and full of joy well into her 90s. Here are the top habits Grandma Ruth swears by. Number 1. She moves her body every day. Grandma Ruth doesn't run marathons or lift weights. She simply stays in motion. She walks around her block each morning, tends to her garden in the afternoon, and stretches while watching TV in the evenings. She says, "Your joints and muscles don't like to sit still for too long. Keep them moving, or they'll stiffen up and quit on you." Experts agree that low-impact movement like walking and stretching improves circulation, balance, and mood, especially for seniors. Number 2. She limits red meat. Ruth made the decision to cut back on red meat decades ago after noticing how heavy and sluggish it made her feel. Today, she eats red meat only on rare occasions, maybe once a month. Her regular sources of protein are fish, eggs, lentils, and chicken. She says, "The older I got, the more I realized I didn't need steak to feel full. I feel better eating light, clean foods." Science backs her up. Research shows that high red meat intake can increase the risk of heart disease, inflammation, and even certain cancers in older adults. Number 3. She drinks water all day long. Many seniors unknowingly live in a constant state of mild dehydration. Not Ruth. She starts her morning with a tall glass of water, drinks between meals, and always keeps a filled water bottle close by. She says, "Water keeps everything flowing, digestion, thinking, energy, you name it. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Hydration is critical for joint health, digestion, kidney function, and maintaining clear thinking." Number 4. She wakes up early and keeps a routine. Every day, Ruth wakes up before 6 a.m. She prays, journals, makes her breakfast, and goes for her morning walk. She keeps her days structured and avoids lying in bed for too long. "I like to know what I'm doing each day," she explains. "Having a rhythm helps me feel sharp." Routines help regulate the body's internal clock and support better sleep, digestion, and mental clarity. Number 5. She eats plenty of plants. Ruth's plate is often more colorful than most people half her age. She loads up on leafy greens, sweet potatoes, carrots, berries, beans, and whole grains. She grows some of her vegetables in a small backyard garden. "Plants make me feel alive," she says. "I love a big bowl of steamed greens and roasted squash." A plant-rich diet provides fiber, antioxidants, and essential vitamins that support immunity, gut health, and energy in older adults. Number 6. She stays socially connected. Ruth makes it a point to talk to someone every single day. Whether it's a neighbor, a church friend, her granddaughter, or the cashier at the grocery store, she never lets a day go by without human interaction. She hosts a weekly tea circle on Saturdays for some of the older women in her neighborhood, where they chat, pray, and laugh together. "Loneliness will break your heart faster than anything else," she says. "Even a short hello can lift your spirit." Social connection is linked to lower rates of depression, better brain function, and even longer life expectancy in older adults. Number 7. She cooks most of her meals at home. Ruth doesn't rely on microwave dinners or fast food. She enjoys cooking fresh meals with simple ingredients like olive oil, garlic, herbs, beans, rice, and seasonal veggies. For breakfast, it's usually oatmeal with fruit. Lunch might be a vegetable soup with whole grain toast. Dinner is often a light plate of grilled fish and steamed greens. I like knowing what's in my food, she says. It helps me trust what I'm putting into my body. Cooking at home helps her control portions, avoid excess salt and sugar, and save money. Number 8. She never stopped learning. Even at 92, Ruth challenges her brain every day. She reads the newspaper cover to cover. She's always working on a crossword puzzle or learning a new hymn on her keyboard. She recently took up painting, something she hadn't tried since high school. She believes it's never too late to try something new. When your brain gets bored, your spirit follows, she says. You've got to keep it fed. Keeping the brain stimulated is one of the most effective ways to guard against memory loss, dementia, and cognitive decline. Number 9. She has a strong spiritual life. After losing her husband at age 73 and her eldest son just a few years later, Ruth leaned into her faith like never before. She begins each day with a quiet time of prayer, scripture, and reflection. It's her way of grounding herself, releasing stress, and staying hopeful. Faith gives me peace, she says. There's so much in this world you can't control, but you can always control your attitude and your trust. Many studies show that faith and spirituality contribute to emotional resilience, better health decisions, and lower anxiety. Number 10. She avoids sitting for too long. Ruth may be watching a documentary or reading a book, but she still takes breaks to move. She'll stand up during commercials, walk up and down her hallway, or do gentle stretches near the couch. Sitting still for hours will steal your strength, she says. You've got to keep the blood flowing. Regular movement throughout the day reduces the risk of blood clots, stiffness, and circulation issues. Number 11. She keeps things simple. Ruth doesn't overcomplicate her life. She keeps her home tidy and uncluttered, her meals straightforward, and her commitments manageable. No need to do 10 things when 3 will do, she says with a grin. That simple living mindset has helped reduce mental clutter and emotional stress. Keeping life minimal and focused can create a calm, organized environment that's easier to manage as we age. Number 12. She makes sleep a priority. Ruth doesn't play around with her bedtime. She heads to bed by 9:30 p.m. and wakes naturally with the sun. She avoids caffeine after lunch and turns off the television at least an hour before sleep. I don't fight my body, she says. When it's time to rest, I rest. Consistent, quality sleep is vital for memory, energy, immune health, and emotional stability, especially for seniors. Number 13. She chooses joy on purpose. Grandma Ruth doesn't pretend that life has always been easy. She's experienced deep grief, health scares, and lonely seasons. But every single morning, she makes a decision to look for joy. Whether it's the sound of birds in her backyard, the smell of freshly brewed coffee, or a kind word from a neighbor, she trains her mind to focus on the good. Happiness doesn't just show up, she says. You have to invite it. Studies show that a positive outlook can reduce inflammation, improve immune function, and even lower the risk of chronic disease. Number 14. She finds reasons to laugh. Ruth laughs every day, at funny memories, with friends, or while watching her favorite comedy shows. Laughter, she says, is just as important as vitamins. When I laugh, I feel younger. My chest opens up, my worries shrink. Laughter triggers the release of feel-good hormones, relieves stress, and supports heart health. Even a few minutes of laughter can shift your whole mood and mindset. Number 15. She keeps a sense of purpose. After her children grew up and her husband passed away, Ruth didn't let her life shrink. She found new meaning in mentoring young women at her church, sharing her story with local support groups, and helping others through simple kindness. There's always someone who needs a word of encouragement, she says. I still have something to give. Purpose fuels motivation, protects against depression, and supports overall well-being in older adults. Number 16. She avoids complaining. Ruth refuses to dwell on aches, pains, or bad news. She talks about solutions, not just problems. She'll acknowledge the hard stuff, but she always ends the conversation on a hopeful note. Complaining steals your time and your spirit, she says. I'd rather talk about what I can do, not what I can't. This mindset keeps her focused, grateful, and emotionally balanced, all of which are linked to healthier aging. Number 17. She gets fresh air every single day. No matter the season, Ruth steps outside, even if it's just for 5 minutes. She soaks up the morning sun, listens to the wind through the trees, and breathes deeply. Fresh air wakes up my whole body, she says. I feel like I can think better and move better when I've had some time outside. Time in nature has been shown to lower blood pressure, reduce stress, and improve mood and concentration, especially for older adults. Number 18. She maintains good posture. Ruth walks tall. She's mindful of how she sits, stands, and even how she carries her grocery bags. Her secret? Core strength and daily awareness. Stand like someone who's still got things to do, she says. Good posture helps with breathing, balance, confidence, and spinal health. Number 19. She surrounds herself with beauty. Her home is filled with light, color, and warmth. Fresh flowers from her garden, family photos, homemade quilts, and handwritten scripture verses adorn her space. I like to be reminded of love, she says. It helps my heart stay soft. Living in an environment that sparks joy can reduce anxiety and make everyday life feel richer and more meaningful. Number 20. She gives thanks every night. Before bed, Ruth mentally reviews her day. She lists 5 things she's thankful for, even small things like a good cup of tea or a call from a friend. It's her bedtime ritual, and it's one she's done for years. Gratitude helps me sleep in peace, she says. No matter what went wrong, I end the day in the light. Gratitude has powerful health benefits. It lowers stress hormones, supports restful sleep, and even improves heart health. Number 21. She doesn't fear aging, she respects it. Ruth never talks about fighting old age. Instead, she honors the stage of life she's in. This body has carried me through a lot, she says. Why would I hate it for getting older? She wears her age like a badge of experience, not a burden. This mindset shift helps her stay emotionally balanced and avoids the stress that often comes from resisting the natural process of aging. Number 22. She embraces change. From learning how to use a smartphone to adjusting to new medications or saying goodbye to old friends, Ruth stays flexible. Change doesn't scare me, she says. I just take it one step at a time. Her ability to adapt helps her stay emotionally strong and socially engaged, 2 key pillars of healthy aging. Number 23. She keeps her mind on what matters. Ruth doesn't waste her time worrying about things she can't control, the weather, politics, or the latest gossip. She focuses on kindness, faith, and doing her part to make each day better. I'm not here to fix the whole world, she says. But I can be a light where I am. That kind of focus shields her from mental fatigue and emotional overwhelm. Number 24. She forgives quickly. Holding on to grudges, she says, is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Ruth learned to let things go, not because people always deserve it, but because peace is more valuable than revenge. Her heart is lighter, her mind clearer, and her relationships stronger because of it. Studies show forgiveness can lower blood pressure, reduce anxiety, and promote longevity. Number 25. She avoids comparing herself to others. Ruth doesn't envy younger women or those with fancier lives. She sees beauty in her own journey. Comparison is a thief, she says. I've got what I need, and that's enough. By staying content and grateful, Ruth protects herself from the emotional rollercoaster of social comparison and low self-esteem. Number 26. She finds joy in giving. Whether it's baking muffins for the widows in her neighborhood or mailing handwritten cards to someone sick, Ruth gives without expecting anything in return. Serving others keeps my heart warm, she says. Generosity is linked to greater happiness, lower stress, and even longer life. Number 27. She never stopped dreaming. At 92, Ruth still has a bucket list. She wants to visit the Grand Canyon again, write down her life story for her grandchildren, and maybe try a hot air balloon. You're never too old to dream, she says with a twinkle in her eye. Dreaming keeps her motivated, optimistic, and full of life. Number 28. She keeps her soul anchored. Through life's storms, the loss of her husband, the health battles, the quiet nights alone, Ruth stands strong because she made one big decision: to anchor her soul in peace, not panic. She trusts God. She trusts the process of life. She knows who she is and what truly matters. I'm not afraid of dying, she says. But until that day comes, I'll keep living. It's this quiet strength, this unshakable peace, that truly defines her version of aging well. So if you're wondering how someone at 92 can still live on their own, cook, laugh, and inspire others, look no further than Grandma Ruth. She's not just surviving. She's fully alive. And every tip she's shared is a step we can all take, no matter our age. If this story inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs a little encouragement today, and hit that subscribe button so you never miss powerful health tips and real-life stories like this one. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll be the first to know when new content drops. Let's age strong, smart, and full of purpose, together.